Now, this is the Sublime and Beautiful, and Blake Robbins. You know, Blake has been on your favorite TV show.
One of my favorites. I just saw that.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. I bet I got hooked on it. It's a trashy version of Hamlet, soap opera. Who have you been on Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, I was in the last season. I played Tara's lawyer. Mitch Klender.
Yep.
A little more clean shaven.
Yep.
Obviously, she won't need a lawyer anymore.
No, they got rid of her, didn't they? And
I'm hoping some other people need a lawyer next year, which lot of them do.
Does anybody leave that show alive, or
we'll see? None of them deserve to. God, they're all just bastards on that show. And he's been in Firefly as well.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, Firefly.
I was going to bring that up, but we'll get to that later.
But he's here to talk about a movie that you wrote this.
I did.
Directed it.
I did.
And gave yourself a good role in it as well.
You know, you can get help with these things. You don't have to do it alone.
Apparently, I couldn't.
Oh.
I tried to get people to work with me and even maybe pay for the movie. It didn't happen, so I just said, screw that. I'm going to make it myself.
The Sublime and Beautiful.
Yeah.
Blake Robbins, director, writer, and star.
Yeah. And I even produced it.
So tell.
At any point in the movie, are you playing a tambourine and a kazoo?
Yeah.
And
he'll be taking copies of the film to the theaters in his car.
Talk about that whole thing, though. Why do you do that?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, I had a story that was very personal to me that lasted for years and years and years of, I had to overcome the circumstances to get it made. So, I don't want to bring us down too much. It's a very raw. It's been described. I just found out that we were mentioned in
tell
comparison.
us about the reviews.
So we had a review come out in Filmmaker magazine that compared us to In the Bedroom.
which is a great depressing movie.
It's a great depressing movie, one of my favorite depressing movies. In the same review, he also mentioned Woman Under the Influence, which had some really raw, material in it too. So I'm thrilled with the reaction people are getting. So I guess I had some profound crap inside of me that I had to deal with cathartically. And a lot of the circumstances overlap some stuff that happened in my real life, so that's what I brought to the movie.
But gosh, therapy would have been cheaper, right?
I'm doing that too. We're working it from both angles.
Good idea.
Do you feel better now that the movie has been made?
Yes. I feel less exhausted, well, except for these last 3 days. But yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. If someone makes a movie on their iPhone and gets a 90-minute feature out, they should be applauded because it's incredibly hard to make a movie to begin with. Mm-hmm. To have made one that people seem to connect with and like, I'm excited.
It's about a college professor that you play.
I play the college professor, family man.
Family man who has a propensity to maybe sleep with a student or two?
Just the one that we know of in the movie. But he's humanly flawed. So we deal with a complicated person, and there's a tragedy that happens to the family, and he loses his kids in a drunk driving accident. And then for much of the movie, we deal with how his spouse and he grieves separately, differently, and can't kind of put that together, which is just a statistic reality.
Yeah.
Most marriages don't survive
either
loss of a child.
Yeah. It's very infrequent that they make it through that because everyone grieves differently, and that's kind of what happens in my film. And then kind of what the traction that happens, this is based on real life. My character, through twist, finds out who the drunk driver was, knows his name and his address. And
what do you do about that?
So what do you do about that? And because his situation is complicated with the grief of where he was supposed to be when the accident happened, trying to get his life back on track, and also it's literally college break when this happens, so he's just idle. He's sort of in this floating.
It's the devil's playground.
Yeah, and he's got nothing. Everything's been taken from him. So he starts following the guy, and that builds to a confrontation that doesn't go as expected. And then... Well, what happens there? Then I think the surprise for some people, which makes total sense to me, is he ultimately ends up at the drunk driver's wake, his funeral, and he has a moment of connection to something where we see that there's a possibility that his moving forward, it's not going to be the same human being, and that's kind of where the film ends. A few surprises.
It's the Sublime and Beautiful, and how long did it take you to do this?
We shot it about 2 years ago, so we've been in post-production for about a year and a half. I started writing it in 2004, 2005. I had the script for a while. We had a couple of false starts where people would say, "Oh, sure, I'll give you some money for that movie," and then one thing leads to another. Movies are like decks of cards; they fall together pretty easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, it's and then you decide Sundance. That's what I'm going to send it to Sundance.
I'm in Slam Dance.
Oh, you're in Slam Dance.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're right across the street here.
Yeah, Treasure
Mountain
Mountain.
Inn.
Yeah,
in
sure.
fact, our final screening is at 4:45 today.
And Slam Dance picks it up. And
Yep.
Is this your first film festival with
This
it?
is our world premiere. We had it 2 days ago.
Yeah, and
reviews.
are you going to send it around to others?
We've been very fortunate that we've already had 5 come calling and maybe another 5 ask and haven't officially told us. I can't tell you who they are because they like to make those announcements themselves, but in February, 2 or 3 other major film festivals will be announcing that we're going to be there too.
So it's a pretty good
excited.
bet that people will maybe even see this in a theater. And
I pray.
Yeah,
I pray.
You do. I just looked
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
your credits pretty quickly, and you do well. You're a working actor, and you do good. You do well.
I do well. I paid the bills.
That's
Yeah.
something that not a lot of people can
That
say.
Masters of Sex.
I did. I was in the last
Yeah?
episode of
Yeah.
Masters of Sex. I was on The Office. I was in Firefly. Oz.
Yeah.
Was my first break in the business.
You keep at it. That's the deal, man.
I've been a salt miner in my own career. I just go into the mine every day.
It's just the way to do it.
It sounds to me like your credit cards that I know that you ran up to make this film.
Absolutely.
It sounds like they'll be paid off to me.
Oh my gosh. Can I get a tape of this and give it to my wife?
Right here.
From your lips.
So the last screening is today at 4:30. Where?
4:45.
4:45.
But you know what? I have a feeling we're going to be standing room only, so you want to get there at 4:30. It's at Treasure Mountain Inn
Right
across the street, right at the top of Main Street. And we're really, really excited about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you'll be there to answer questions afterwards.
Yeah, we have a big crew. We have a lot of our some of our cast has had to leave town and get back to work, but I'll be there.
All right. It's called The Sublime and Beautiful. Blake Robbins, a writer, director, star. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah. They were listening.
Yeah, there you are.